I'm Caroline Searcy. Welcome to part one of the 2024 Inglis Australian Easter Yearling Sale preview. Over the next 2 weeks, we'll profile a mouth-watering array of young thoroughbreds bound for Group 1 glory at racetracks around Australia and the world. And who knows what great theatre one unassuming filly will create on day 2 of the 2024 sale, as the daughter of Piero and the only foal so far from one of racing's greatest champions, Winx, is led into the auditorium at Riverside. Boy, I can't wait to be there. Coming up in the next hour, we feature outstanding blue bloods from long-established thoroughbred studs, Coolmore, Arrowfield, Newgate Farm, Widden Stud, Ora and Kitchwin Hills. Now with new management and combined with AlmaVale thoroughbreds. Don't miss a minute of this 2-part preview as we unveil the soon-to-be history-making yearling crop of 2024.
Piero drove through, took the lead in the slipper. Gate holders months ago, and Piero won it from Stitzerland and Samaretti.
On the Breeders' Plate back in October, she said this horse will win the Golden Slipper.
The Coolmore Australia draft at the Inglis Easter Yearling Sale is always elite, but this year, more than any other, the focus of the world will be on one yearling, the daughter of champion mare Winx by former champion 2-year-old Piero. She's right behind me here in the Coolmore Yearling Barn, and we can't wait to show off the most exciting yearling to be sold anywhere this year around the world, daughter of a 4-time Cox Plate winner. Tom, it is a real highlight this year. Always a highlight being here at Coolmore, of course, but a real highlight to have this daughter of Winx, of course, by Piero, your own stallion. But what a champion she was. And it must give you all a buzz to present this beautiful filly.
Yeah, Winx herself obviously was a source of great pride for everyone here at Coolmore. She was foaled here, nurtured here and sold through a Coolmore consignment and went on to be one of the greatest of all time. To sell her first yearling filly at a sale and offer her on behalf of her connections is a great honour for everyone here, and it's not taken lightly, of course, but also for her to be by Piero and also be such an outstanding physical specimen herself, it makes it extra special. So we really look forward to following her through and presenting her to the market, and we're sure that she'll get international attention.
And the stallions here, of course, justify. We've seen Stormboy, an outstanding 2-year-old, and also So You Think. He's a 2-time runner-up champion Australian sire. These established stallions doing so well for Coolmore.
Justify first. Obviously, he's only just getting going in his stallion career, and he's done it all over the world. So You Think is a horse that is just so consistent. He's done it for many years now. And
of course, we're selling the first of the Widden Bassets here in the Southern Hemisphere, based here at Coolmore. We start with a Widden Basset. This is a colt lot 360 from a beautiful mare, Tulip. As we said, the first of the Southern Hemisphere Widden Bassets. The dam by Piero, she won the Magic Night and the Typhoon Tracy Stakes. And again, it's just a really deep pedigree, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good pedigree, and it's one that we're very familiar with here at Coolmore. Tulip's mother, Musidora, has been a great producer. Tulip herself was one of the first that burst on the scene for Piero in his first crop. She was placed in a Golden Slipper and actually ran 5th in the Everest. She was a high-class mare in her own right. This particular colt has always been a standout amongst the Widden Bassets. We sent a lot of good mares to him in his first season, but he's always been up there with one of the best colts. Despite the fact that he's a bit of a later foal, you could still see him getting up and going early. He's got a great barrel, a good shoulder, he moves along particularly well, a great hip and hind quarter, and he's all quality. So you can see elements of both Tulip and Widden Basset in him. He's a particularly nice colt.
Next is lot 474 by Justify out of Crystal Fountain. Of course, the dam is by Stravinsky. She's a 5-time winner, multiple stakes place getter, and a 3/4 sister to Jewel Oaks winner in Serenade Rose. A beautiful, beautiful colt, this one.
Yeah, he's a lovely colt. As you say, he's a justifier, so he's going to be on everyone's list. But he's a real flashy colt. Great depth to him, big hip and hind quarter. He moves particularly well. But he's always been a nice colt. He's always been up there with the best justifiers on the farm. From a deep family, a stakes performing Stravinsky mare. We all know what a great broodmare sire Stravinsky is. So we expect him to be very well received.
Lot 485 by King's Legacy from Debate, the first season sire by Redoute's Choice, who won the Sires, the Champagne. Dams by So You Think, who's already dam sire of a Golden Slipper winner, Fireburn, and Debate's a winning half sister to Scalacci Stakes winner, Unpretentious. I love this colt. There's so much Redoute's Choice about him, isn't there? He's just got a lovely swagger. He's a powerful lad too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's his sire's son. King's Legacy himself is a beautiful horse. But this particular colt out of Debate, as you say, he's got a big, deep girth, beautiful mover. He's all quality. He's just a lovely horse. There's nothing wrong with him. He's correct. He's been straightforward all the way along. He's always been a highly rated King's Legacy. From a family that has resonated well with Redoute's Choice and Redoute's Choice line sires in the past. The mother's a half-sister to Unpretentious, who was a top-class sprinter by Stratum. So we think he's a great chance. We think he's going to present really well there at Inglis, and he won't be out of place.
Well, this Coolmore draft, of course, is no one-trick pony. There's also a yearling from an outstanding race mare other than Winx, and that is the colt from Sunlight. We know, of course, she was herself bought by Tom Magnier as a broodmare for $4.2 million, a three-time Group 1 winning sprinter. This is by Widden Bassett, this colt. The first foal of Sunlight by Justify was a $1.4 million yearling now called Dawn Service, who's had a couple of trials for Gay and Adrian. And this is just an outstanding individual, isn't it? He's just all power, and I just love, you see so much of Sunlight and so much of Widden Bassett.
He's got so much presence about him, and apart from the fact that he's by Widden Bassett out of a champion mare like Sunlight, he's actually just a beautiful colt. He's got a great colour, great skin. He's glowing at the moment. He's a beautiful mover. So regardless of the fact that he's out of a champion, he'd be a lovely colt if he was out of anything. It's great to be able to offer quality individuals out of mares such as Sunlight. Coolmore and our partners in mares such as these have invested a lot of money over the last few years, and it's great for them to be rewarded with individuals as good as this colt. We expect him to sell very well, obviously, as he should. He's by one of the best stallions in the world, first crop here in Australia, and he's up there with the best individuals we'll offer at a sale this year. So we expect him to be extremely well found.
And next is lot 133. This is a filly, again, another Justify from Mary Ann. She's been a top group producer. This is a half-sister to the Tulloch Stakes winner in Yaletown.
Another Justifier with the McClure family's Morning Rise Stud brand, just like Stormboy. They've been great supporters of Justify all the way along with Coolmore, so it's great for them to be able to produce a high-class filly such as this one to the market. The first foal out of the mare was a Group 2 winning 3-year-old in Yaletown for Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott. The full sister is in training with the Snowdens, and Justify's just gone to another level since last year's sale. We haven't seen a stallion like him throughout the world in a long time. Any yearling to be presented by Justify is going to be on everyone's list, but this is a particularly nice filly with great residual value, and we're excited to present her at the sale.
And building up to the last yearling here at Coolmore for this preview segment, but certainly not the least, this is the outstanding Winx filly. Of course, the first foal to be going to a yearling sale. It's an absolute piece of history. 37 wins she had, 4-time Australian Horse of the Year, the 4th Cox Plates, 3 Queen Elizabeths, Doncaster, Epsom, George Ryder, Chipping Norton 4 times. This filly is a piece of history being offered for sale. And by Piero, a sire of sires. We've seen Pierata with one of the season's top 2-year-olds in Coleman. Just everything going for her, but she's just a delightful filly, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a very rare offering. Fillies like this don't get offered to the market very often. Winx, as you say, is the greatest horse that we've ever seen here in Australia for a long time, if not ever. For us at Coolmore, she's a source of great pride. She came from this farm, and to offer her first foal at auction is very special. To do it on behalf of a great ownership group. This particular filly means a lot to a lot of the people that have worked with her all the way along. Paddy Sheen, who foaled her down, and Will O'Connor, who's our yearling manager, they've all played a very significant part in getting her to this stage. But all that aside, she's just a beautiful filly by Piero, who's capable of getting top-class racehorses, fillies at various distances. He's a versatile stallion capable of getting top-class milers and 2,000 metre horses, as evidenced by Acadia Queen. And beyond that, he's established himself, although it's early days, into a very high-class broodmare size. So the residual value that a filly like that holds is extremely significant, but we know that people are going there to buy a racehorse at this yearling sale, and you won't be disappointed when you come and see the Pierrot filly out of Winx, because she's a beautiful individual. She's got great scope, a great way of going, a beautiful temperament, a great head and eye. She's just pretty much flawless. So despite the fact that she's out of one of the greatest of all time, she's a beautiful physical as well. So we're really looking forward to getting there, and we're really looking forward to following her career for a long time.
And this sale, of course, we know the history behind Inglis Easter. We know the champions that come from it. We know, from a Coolmore point of view, it's such an important sale every year, and everything sort of draws to a peak for Inglis Easter, doesn't it?
The Inglis Easter sale and the week leading up to it is one of the most important weeks of the year for us. Obviously, this year it takes on a little bit of extra importance, given the fact that we're offering yearlings out of the likes of Winx and Sunlight, and that's a reflection on the importance that we place on this sale to offer the progeny of mares of that calibre. 3.5 years ago, we sit down and go through mating plans for some of these top-end mares. That is with the view of getting high-class offerings that we can take to Inglis Easter in April. So a lot of work goes on to get them to this point, and we can't wait to get to Riverside and offer them to the market.
Can't wait to see the Winx filly and other Coolmore Blue Bloods at Riverside. Coming up after the break, we're here at Arrowfield Stud, profiling a mouth-watering array of star yearlings. We're here at the magnificent Arrowfield Stud Yearling Barn, from where last year this great team of horsemen and women prepared yet another draft at Inglis Easter that topped the vendors' list by aggregate. And the exciting thing is these yearlings always go on the racetrack. Let's have a look at the Arrowfield draft for 2024. John, Arrowfield Stud and the Inglis Easter Yearling Sale are just synonymous for the great success and the huge impact that you have on the Australian racing scene. Group 1 winners galore, your graduates are always outstanding, and it must be exciting to be taking another draft through to Easter.
Yes, we've had some great drafts in the past, Caroline, and this year I think we've got a particularly good draft. We're really excited about it, and we're excited to go to the sale off the back of some really excellent results of late with previous crops. Of course, Estriella was a graduate in 2022. She won the $1 Million English Sprint the other day, which was fantastic for Kevin and Vicky Payne, who are great supporters of the farm. They also bought Hitotsu from us, and they've got a filly called Tuta La Vida, which they bought out of the same draft in 2022. So we go to the sales with high hopes off the back of previous successes.
It's not just about, your clients who are so important, your wonderful broodmare band, but your stallions. I mean, this is what Arrowfield is synonymous for, going through Danehill, Redute's Choice, and the great Snitzel, of course, 4-time champion Australian sire. And he's just not slowing down, is he? I mean, we've seen him with Shinzo, a recent Golden Slipper winner, Seamus Award, Trapeze Artist, as a sire of sires, just like his father and grandfather.
Absolutely. He's such an important horse to the farm, but an important horse to the industry, and Russian Revolution as well. And last year we sold Switzerland. He just keeps coming up with those exciting horses week after week, never lets us down. And I think Susan Archer did some statistics that you know, he was coming up with a black type performer every 15 days or something like that through his entire career, which is extraordinary.
And the Autumn Sun, of course, following on in the footsteps, also a son of your great Redute's Choice. And how are you seeing him at the moment? Because there are so many good horses coming through. You can just see them, you know, and that they are heading towards these great stakes races.
He was a Guineas horse himself. Whilst he was a great 2-year-old, he was more of a Guineas horse. He's out of a Galileo mare. And what I think we're seeing is a lot of that influence coming through in his progeny. It's extraordinary to think that I think a third of all his fillies that have raced are entered in the AJC Oaks. And he's got a number of fillies that have obviously got great chances. Autumn Angel, Toodle La Vida right up there at the head of the markets. So that's the influence that we're seeing in them. And we're very confident about the future with him, and we're really excited about the autumn with what's to come.
We start with a filly by Morris, lot 370. The dam is by Snitzel and was second in the New Zealand 1,000 Guineas, and really importantly, a close relation to the absolute champion in Dundeal.
Yeah, she was a filly that was bred by a great friend of the farm and the breeder of Dundeal, Murray Anderson. She's a lovely filly, lots of scope, lots of quality. Morris has worked particularly well with that Redute's and Danehill line. The strike rate there is just off the charts. And she's a glorious filly. She's from Murray's great family, as you mentioned, family that he began 30 years ago with the Filly of the Year starring. So there's a lot of depth in the pedigree, and she's quite a special filly.
Next is a filly, lot 158, by the Autumn Sun from Missy Beale, the first foal of an Aspiration and a Pona Stakes winner, and a blood sister to Amaralinia. A lovely filly. She's got those big ears, she's all quality, and a really good brain as well.
Yeah, she's a lovely filly. Missy Beale was a really talented, hard-knocking, tough race mare. She's by Sava Beale, out of an O'Reilly mare. It's an amazing cross. Orchestral won the New Zealand Derby recently, and she's bred on that cross. I think the 9th Group 1 winner to be bred on. We really like those sort of bloodlines in our brood mares. This is an outstanding first foal. She's got Oaks written all over her, I think. It's a family that, when mated back to Danehill, has done very well. Back in the pedigree, Keeper, who was a useful stallion for Cambridge Stud, who was by Danehill, and then Metal Bender. Closer up in the family, won 4 Group 1s. He was a Danasinga horse. So the family's nicked well back to Danehill line stallion. So this filly is a top-class filly, I think, and more of a 3-year-old type, but just glorious quality and great frame to her.
Then lot 452, a filly by Snitzel from Carry On Alice. So from a champion South African filly. She's a very forward sort of filly, isn't she? And this mare always sells well.
Yes, she does. I mean, she had a full brother. This filly had a full brother last year that was purchased by Henry Field and his Newgate syndicate, who's trialled particularly well, a horse called Manos. Looks like a star in the making. She's a beautiful mare, Carry On Alice, a champion in South Africa, and we've seen what South African mares can do in this country, in particular with Snitzel, you know, in the Congos, out of a top-class South African mare. This filly is just a glorious filly. I mean, she's probably one of the nicest foals the mare's had, and she has had a couple of nice ones, so we've got great hopes. She was sent to us by our good friend in South Africa, John Costa, Clavervai Stud, and we're just so thrilled and grateful to have her. She's quite a special mare, and this is quite a special filly.
And then we have a colt by Snitzel, lot 293, from Silent Sedition. The dam on the William Reid, a Summon Stakes, the Mannerism Stakes, and was second in a Coolmore Classic. Of course, the Porto Rocker family of Dubai World Cup winner Monte Rosso, and a good size. You know, he's a big, strong boy, isn't he?
He is. She was quite a special mare, Silent Sedition. She's a weight for age winner at 1,200 metres in the William Reid, and she defeated Hellbent and Star Turn at 2 stallions. I think this colt might be something similar in years to come. She was a brilliant race mare, and as you said, she was placed in the Coolmore, in fact twice, only narrowly beaten a couple of times, and even as a 3-year-old she was second in an Australasian Oak. So she was a really versatile, fast, quality mare. And this fellow's really only her 3rd live foal. We lost one, sadly, the foal prior to this chap, but he's a beautiful colt. You know, I think the colt syndicates at the sales will be all over him. He's just oozes quality, and he's classy, and it's so athletic. We're really, you know, thrilled with him, and we're proud to be presenting him at the sale.
Lot 447 is by Your Own Fabulous Dundeal from Sabo La Vie. She's a 5-time winner of the Lalia Stakes and has already been doing the job as a producer, and it goes back to the family of Maccabi Diva.
Absolutely. It's a family that we've had for a long time here. We brought her in, Sobola, a granddaughter of Tagila, who came out here for Tony Santic, and of course through Mackay Diva. She was placed in the Australasian Oaks, funnily enough, behind Silent Sedition. So, and she's done a great job. She started off really well. She's classy filly in Eau de Vie, and Cap Farrar, who's been placed at Group 1 level in the Spring Champion Stakes. And this is a really quality colt. He's in the mould of all the best Dundeals. And Dundeal's done remarkably well as getting 2-year-old colts that are at Group 1 level. Militarise, Castelvecchio, and Divano's a colt that we sold last year at the sales that looks really promising, heading towards the Size Produce Stakes. So, and bred on a really good nick too. Tagila by Riverman is a cross that's worked so well with Dundeal and Sadler's Wells, but Militarise is bred on that cross. And we've got great faith in these bloodlines. We think they'll really work well with this colt.
And finally here at Arrowfield, lot 346 by Widden Tycoon, the former champion Australian sire, who stood here, of course, for a season. This is from the Broken Shore. What a fabulous family this is, isn't it? The great Reduced Choice family too. This fellow, a half-brother to triple Group 1 winner Shoals.
Yes, she's been a fabulous mare for us. Groundswell was placed behind Super Seth in Caulfield Guineas. We felt when we stood Widden Tycoon that he nicked really well with Mr. Prospector Blood, and if you look through his best offspring, the mares carry a strain of Mr. Prospector. Capitalist, of course, is out of a mare by Fuzaichi Pegasus, a direct son of Mr. Prospector. The Broken Shore by Hassanay by Mr. Prospector. A colt like this that looks so much like a racehorse. If he were to be a success, he's got the bloodlines, the most impeccable bloodlines for any stud farm in the world. So that's the exciting thing about it. It's a family that goes back to El Gran Senor and that Best in Show family, so there's so much depth in it. She's been a wonderful mare for the farm, and this is one of the best foals that I think she's had. We do put a lot of time and effort into our breeding program, more particularly to try and breed racehorses, and we let the sales results look after themselves, because we always feel if you breed good racehorses, the results will follow. The commercial results will follow. Look, I think this sale will be very good. The sales have been great everywhere. What we've seen is that the market's got an insatiable demand for really high quality horses, and of course Easter is probably the most high quality, concise catalogue of horses that there is. So our expectations are that it'll be a very good sale. Inglis's do a great job in attracting a good buying bench for this sale, and the results out of the sale have been excellent in the last few years. So I think, you know, previous buyers are very encouraged by that. They'll be back in force, and I think it'll be, you know, there's a lot of breeders that are presenting some magnificent horses at the sale, not just Arrowfield. So I think it should be a great sale.
Such great sire power at Arrowfield Stud, and we wish the Massara family and their great staff all the best for Easter 24. Coming up after the break, the magnificent flying, footloose and fancy-free yearlings at Widden Stud. Year in, year out, the Widden Stud yearlings never fail to deliver on the Group 1 stage, and it's no surprise when you see the great care and yet freedom they have in the paddocks of this historic 157-year-old family operation. Steve, it's just a beautiful morning here at Widden Stud, and always a highlight of our English Easter previews to see these gorgeous yearlings galloping around the paddocks here. And you've had another wonderful year at Widden. Zugotcha, of course, the fabulous filly you sold, a Group 1 winner, coming back again so well. Featured in these previews as a yearling herself in the paddock. Zoostar, her sire, had 2 Group 1 winners in the spring, and you know, he's just become a real flagship for this stud, hasn't he?
He has. He continues to do an excellent job year in, year out for us, and he's just gone to a whole new level this year. Obviously the exciting colt winning the Coolmore, and a really nice filly and Jolly Star, so they were 2 positives. And then Zugotcha coming back, obviously big Group 1 winner. It's really good to see her come back and in fine style. It's what you want to see out of your 3-year-old Group 1 winning fillies.
Well, speaking of Zoostar, we'll talk just about 3 fillies in a row and then have a look at some colts. Lot 73 from Hummer. She was a 3-time stakes winner. You also showed us the Secret Trail house sister to Spywire, lot 269, and 227 from Prompt Response, a Tats Tiara winner. So the mares that he's consistently getting now, we're seeing the results of that on the track.
I think in particular the Hummer filly is a really sharp first foal, which is what you like to see out of these really good race mares, to produce a filly like that. At her first attempts, excellent. Also the Secret Trail filly, which we showed, she's another fine example of what Zoostar can do. She's a big, elegant sort of filly. She's got plenty of size and scope to a great temperament. Obviously Spywire has been an exciting 2-year-old for the Kieran team, and obviously we're lucky enough to retain a bit of ownership in him, so he's an exciting horse going forward. And lastly, the Prompt Response filly, she's a big brute of a filly. She's got plenty of size, substance, presence. She's a really powerful individual, as probably the pick of our fillies, Zoostar wise, but look, she's an extraordinary filly. Sister sold very well last year, and I've no reason why she can't do the same.
Well, from the colts, another Zoostar, lot 317. This is from Still My Kisses. So she was a Merson Cooper winner and another fabulous yearling here.
He's a stunning individual. He's actually one of my favourites in the draft. I've always had a big opinion of him from weanling all the way through to this stage. He's held himself in great regard. He's powerful, big, massive jowl that Zoostar can throw into, and he's just a beautiful, big, moving horse. Mum was obviously very fast. He looks very fast. He should be on all the big colt buys list heading towards Easter. He's a great temperament as well, which really holds them in good stead going forward, in particular with these expensive colts.
Lot 483 is by Wootton Bassett from the great mare Daisy Doom. We know she was such a popular mare for Ronnie Quinton, a Coolmore Classic winner. Her first foal for Mer is a Canterbury winner since the catalogue was released.
Yeah, he's another exciting individual heading forward. He's another exceptional example of what the stallion can do. A great race mare, Daisy Doom, everyone would be very familiar with what she did, and she was a very popular race mare. Great colour and head, which I've noticed is a real trait of Wootton Bassett. A November foal actually, but you wouldn't really know it. He holds great physical attributes that held him in good stead going towards Easter, and yeah, he's another really special colt we've got.
Well, next is lot 304, and again, this is a real superstar. This is the full brother to Sunlight. Of course, she was sold for $4.2 million as a brood mare. She won the Coolmore William Reid Newmarket. Her Justify yearling sold for $1.4 million. Kandinsky Abstract was a $3 million yearling. Of course, we remember well from the previews here as well. And people forget, he beat Celestial Legend on debut.
That's exactly right. I think it's a really big form reference that came out of his debut race. He looks like he's in for a good autumn campaign. This colt himself is an exceptional colt, as all they are with Solar Charge. She, I think, not only does the job on the track, but they're great physical temperaments, great minds to them. They move with exceptional quality. You see this guy move on your screens at home. He's got a great flow and canter to him, and he covers ground exceptionally well. They're always a privilege to work with these Solar Charge horses, and he's no exception to that. It's a privilege to be able to come into work each day and look at horses and deal with him. He loves his work, he loves his routine, which I'm sure any trainer will be lucky to benefit from going forward.
Lot 24 is another superstar here, this colt. This is Written Tycoon from Fast Talker, the half-brother to Zugotcha. What a great job again Fast Talker has done.
Yeah, this is another example of what the mare can throw you. She's a phenomenal brood mare. You just have to look in the catalogue to see that. He's a November foal, but he's definitely blossomed and bloomed through spring and definitely into the early parts of autumn now. He's really started to turn the corner, and a lot of Written Tycoon in, which you can see through his head and his markings. He'll be on every buyer's list, and he'll be a lucky addition to anyone's stable going forward.
Next lot 335 by Snitzel from Sword of Light. David Moody's great family, Sunburnt Land, Katana, Flamberge. But I just love this colt. He is so powerful, isn't he? He's magnificent.
Yeah, he really takes your eye, this colt. He's a real snitzel through his head, very masculine. He's got a little bit of leg and substance to him as well, which will hold him in good stead into his 2- and 3-year-old career. Obviously, Switzerland's doing a good job for Snitzel at the moment, and this colt's another example of what he can do. Really excited to get him there. He should be on every big colt buyers syndicates list. He's a phenomenal animal, mover, and just a great doer.
And finally, lot 328 by Zoostar again from Summer Sham. He's a speedy boy. Gee, he loves to gallop, doesn't he? He's a full brother to Schwartz, the Damson Angus Armanasco winner, and it is the Great Redute's Choice family.
Yeah, he's a very athletic colt, as you could see. Loves to work and gallop, which we see every day. Schwartz, as you said, he looks pretty special. Different in regards to his colouring to Schwartz, but he's definitely got all the same attributes physically. He's got great deep girth, moves well, and just looks sharp. Plenty of, not a single doubt, and back to Rory's gesture through him, definitely in his culling and his marking, you wouldn't miss him. He's very flashy, but yeah, and overall, a really exceptional colt, a team favourite, that's for sure. He's certainly one that pleases everyone. He's just, yeah, an exciting horse going forward, and really look forward to getting him there. It's not just a 10-week prep, it's a whole process from birth all the way along. We've got a big family farm here, so everyone likes to get in and do their bit. We've all seen these horses from when they're on their mother, so this is just the final stages, which everyone enjoys putting on the finishing touches, but we've also enjoyed the hard work the whole way through, from the broodmare crew to the dry mare crew, getting these mares in foal to the staying crew. It's a very special draft of horses. It's probably a real standout. Obviously, as Annie always says, when you're in the green book, you're a special horse, and that's no exception with this draft.
Can't wait to see which of these Widden Whizzes will be the Sunlights and Zougotchas of the racing world. Newgate Farm has forged a great reputation for not only standing a large number of young stallions, but also for its success in buying colts to come to the farm and racing them to Group 1 success with their fantastic clients. Let's have a look at some select yearlings from Newgate in 2024. Jim, it's a wonderful operation, Newgate Farm. Obviously, you have these incredible stallions. You're producing so many winners on the track, and wonderful broodmare band as well with some fantastic clients. But as far as the stallions firing with the early Carnival Stakes winners, Revolutionary Miss, Rush into the Bar by Russian Revolution, Capitalist has had Aardvark in the Talender, Castagna off the farm in the Lonhro Plate, To Soar with Manal winning the Sweet Embrace, Extreme Choice with Parkour and a top filly and Extreme Diva, and of course Lady Camelot off the farm. It's really hard to keep up with them all.
Yeah, look, obviously on behalf of Gavin and Catherine, Matthew and Wendy, Henry and Louise, and all the management team here at the farm, it's a great honour to have you here at the farm to, you know, look at our showcase some of our Easter yearlings. It's been a fantastic start to the year again for Newgate. You know, obviously Castagna, Lady Camelot, obviously off the both raised and grazed off the farm. It's been, you know, sharp, fast 2-year-olds, which is what we kind of prize ourselves on. Stallions have done fantastically well. They've all had representatives in all the big 2-year-old races so far, and hopefully continue on for the rest of the season.
Well, looking at this draft, starting off with lot 226, this is by the 4-time champion Australian sire Snitzel from Prompt, this filly. So she's more than a half sister to the Tats Tiara winner Prompt Response.
Yeah, look, she's bred by SF and Gavin, and you know, she's a beautiful, well-grown, good-moving, big hip, big girth filly. Typical of, you know, he's a fantastic stallion. We've had a lot of success with him. Obviously, we've a lot of his sons at stud here, and we've had a good year selling his offspring at the sale. So this filly's a really showcase, well-bred Snitzel filly. It's been really well received at Easter.
So lot 263 is second, a colt by Capitalist from Satin Socks. At the Dam, a 3-time winner and stakes performer from a Silver Slipper winner, Satin Shoes. Again, a beautiful Capitalist, a representative of Capitalist.
Obviously bred by Belinda Bateman, who raced Capitalist, and she has a broodmare band on the farm here that's second to none in the whole of Australasia. As you can see, anytime you see Satin in the family, it's Belinda's, and she does a fantastic job. Look, he's a really good, moving, sharp, mature colt by Capitalist, who's absolutely smashing out of the park. You know, he's incredible speed stallion. You know, he leads the sires list and 2-year-old stakes runners to winners. Obviously, great family. You know, goes back time unstoppable. Look, stallion's flying. You know, he's doing such a good job in Hong Kong. as we said earlier, with Castagna and Aardvark have done a fantastic job, 2-year-old stakes horses this year, and you know he's going to be really, really popular at Easter.
Next is lot 330 by the great Fastnet Rock from Supreme Mine. Second dam Small Mines won the Australasian Oaks and produced a 3/4 sister to this filly in Sneaky 5 and also Beautiful Mind.
Yeah, look, she's a beautiful, obviously in my previous roles I've seen a lot of Fastnet Rock fillies, a lot of good ones, and you know she's a filly I really like actually. She was bred in Kingstar by Matthew Samblom, and she came to us earlier on this year, and she's just a beautiful, good moving, lots of quality about her. Like those good Fastnet fillies, you know, lots of quality, good action. I'd say probably a bit earlier than a lot of the other ones that I've seen, and just a really nice, honest filly.
We move on to a son of your wonderful stallion, Extreme Choice, lot 343 from Tempt Me Not. The dam's a tough, gory bred and race mare who won the PJ Bell and is a granddaughter of a real pocket rocket, the really tough Tempest Morn. Really good action, really just swings along too. Just a lovely colt.
Yeah, look, obviously the sire is you know, he's been a fantastic stallion for us. You know, when you see the quality of mares, the yearlings are going to the sales this year out of this crop. You know, when you see what he's done so far, you know he's running at I think nearly 13% stakes winners to runners off of arguably, you know, weren't his better mares. You know, there's all blue sky ahead for this stallion. You know, he's obviously bred in partnership with Gorey and Newgate, and he's a colt I really love. You know, he's great moving, really good actioned, very straightforward. Exactly what you think of a Gorey offspring, a really hardy, tough colt, and you know, when you put Extreme on top of these Gorey mares, you know, we're gonna have a lot of fun going forward. Obviously, you know, Castagna's in the second dam, obviously out of Ganda, so you know, pedigree's getting better and better, and he's a really sharp, mature colt.
Lot 332, this is the first yearling to be sold by the star American stallion Gunrunner in Australasia. Of course, Gunrunner now is covering a lot of mares to Southern Hemisphere time, so you'll see more of them, but this guy is a real standout. He's from a mare called Sweet Marini, and this is just a beautiful looking colt.
Yeah, look, it's a huge honour to be given the opportunity to sell this colt. You know, the stallion's an absolute freak. You know, to have 6 Group 1 winners in his first crop. He runs at 11% stakes winners to runners, and he stands for $250,000 US this year, Northern Hemisphere time. You know, and thinking about this colt, you know, obviously a lot of the American dirt stallions over the years probably lack a bit of action, whereas this guy has a good action. He's a good mover, plenty of size and scope. It's a great honour to have a colt by the stallion that is, you know, internationally renowned as one of the best stallions worldwide.
And finally here at Newgate, lot 462, another by your star stallion Extreme Choice from Coco, as in Chanel.
Yeah, again, look, another good representation of our, you know, statistically one of the best stallions in the world. Like all the good extremes, you know, he has great action, great movement. He's a little bit of a later foal, but he has plenty of strength already. No reason why you want to get up and go early. He's a 2-year-old. Look, the stallions had a fantastic year to date. You know, his yearlings have made 1.6, 1.45, 1.4. They're gone to, you know, James, Henry, Rosemont, all the big players have Gay has bought, you know, numerous ones by him. So if he improves on what he's done so far, it's actually going to be frightening how good this stallion could be. Obviously, we've had a fantastic summer, the whole of the Hunter Valley. We've had plenty of rain. Farm looks fantastic. It's a huge credit to all the farming team and all the whole team at Newgate, how well the farm looks. And you know, obviously the way we raise our yearlings and our young stock, you know, we're obviously we try and leave it as organic as possible. They're in the paddock for as long as they can get. All our Easter yearlings are all, fillies are all out together. You know, our main goal is trying to raise athletes, and that's the success. We put that down to the success we're having year after year. I think everybody's looking forward to getting to Easter and seeing the creme de la creme of some of the best yearlings to put to auction in the 2024 year. You know, it hasn't been a straightforward year, and that's evident at all the sales so far this year. But you know, look, it's a strong marketplace. Easter's always strong. A lot of international buyers. Vibes are good. Sebastian and the team do a good job getting the buyers there, so we need to get the yearlings there and hopefully be a success for everybody.
It's been wonderful tracing the huge development of Newgate Farm over the years in these previews. Coming up after the break in our preview of the 2024 Inglis Easter Yearling sale, we visit Ora Stud and profile some of their select yearlings, as well as Kitchwin Hills / AlmaVale thoroughbreds. Welcome back. Ananda Krishnan's Ora Stud is now in partnership with Widden Stud, but maintains its own clients and is selling yearlings this year, synonymous with the broodmares that have made Ora such a great success. Let's have a look at the pick of the Easter bunch from Ora. Ora Stud has a fabulous reputation and a beautiful property here in the Hunter Valley of New South Wales, and a fantastic association for generations with the Inglis Easter Yearling sale.
Yes, no, we're very, very lucky to work on a property like this. It's one of the oldest studs in the valley, one of the foundation studs as such, and the success that has come off it. When you look around here and you see the way these horses are raised and the effort the team puts in, you can see why that success has come. And then leading into Easter, it's been one of the sales that we've had great results from, and also the race horses that came out of that sale for us and hit the track. There's a lot that goes into it, but it's very exciting times leading into the Easter sale.
And Ananda Krishnan, I mean, these wonderful brood mares that you've now been working with for a number of years that have produced the likes of your loving Gabbies and Wild Ruler, and so exciting now, isn't it, to see Farnan, a Golden Slipper winner, with his first crop representing Ora.
Oh, definitely. I mean, when you go around the broodmare band here, it's an exceptional for a fan that we all are of racing. You go around, you see day-to-day names, and now we've got a chance to bring some of these yearlings to sales out of these mares, and then you line that up with Farnan, our Golden Slipper winner, and his first year sales this year out of some of these mares. It's a combination that it's just super exciting. Really, can't wait to get there.
We start here with lot 166 by your Golden Slipper winner, Farnan, who, he's from the greatest sire line there is in Australia, isn't he? Not a single doubt, Redute's Choice, Danehill. And more than real, the dam of this filly, she won a Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. She's the dam of one of the real blue hens currently, Miss Debutante, who's thrown Platinum Jubilee, Queen of the Ball, and Lady of Camelot. What an outstanding pedigree and a beautiful filly. Oh,
I think you've said it all, really, haven't you? I mean, with Farnan, we've said it to death, basically, but, he's got everything in his favour. Golden Slipper winner by a sire line that just keeps on progressing here in Australia. And then when you look at the dam, More Than Real, what she's done, on the track, and then also now that the way the family is moving, it's turning into one of the biggest family of fillies in Australia, so it is. And Miss Debutante, her daughter, to produce, for any mare to produce a nice stakes winner, but to produce 3 two-year-old stakes winner in a year, Lady of Camelot looks like the best of the 3, and she's only very young in her career. It's a very exciting family going forward, and to be able to get a filly from one of those families, let's not forgetting just how athletic and how racy she looks. She's a very exciting filly to be bringing to the sale.
Next is lot 497 by the dual champion Australian sire, I Am Invincible, from Dream Play, a half-sister this filly to VRC Sires winner Zululand, a Fastnet Rock mare. Just a glorious filly, isn't she? And this mare has just done so much for this farm, hasn't she, over the years?
She's been an amazing mare for the farm. She's getting a little bit older now, so for a filly to be there, it's very exciting. She's bred some very, very good horses in her time here, and now even her daughters, the likes of Starry with Celestial Bling, who was laced in a gym crack this year. The family is still just starting to come through the next generation. So it's a very, very big family, and to give someone the opportunity to get into it. She's a beautiful filly to have, and I think in the typical brand of Vinnie fillies, she just has that amazing quality about her, great demeanour, and good action as well. She's everything you could want in a nice filly.
Well, next is a bit of a farm favourite, I understand. Lot 54 by Farnan, again from Gypsy Robin, almost a 3/4 sister to Wild Ruler, and a half to one of the top fillies of her generation in Pavitra. And this mare never fails to deliver. She's just a stunning chestnut filly, isn't she? Just a powerhouse through the top, but a lovely, refined, light way about her.
Oh, I know we're not really allowed to have favourites, but it's very hard not to with this filly. I mean, she walks out, and it's just she goes all right, so she does. She's the most amazing sort of filly. The mare has done so much already at stud, considering she's not an old mare. Wild Ruler, Pavitra, the family is just going everywhere, and it sounds a little bit silly to say, but you know, looking at this filly, you feel like the best could be yet to come. So it does. She just looks fast. Yeah, you know, she could be the one. I love her to bits. She's got everything you want. She's got, you know, such good demeanor about her. You know, she's strong. She's just so strong in all the right places. An amazing shoulder, good hip, and yeah, no, it's yeah, you can probably tell by the tone, but I quite like her.
You do indeed. Next, lot 89, another Farnan. This one's a colt from a wonderful race filly, Jennifer Eccles. We filmed him as a foal. I think he was the very first foal here at Ora by Farnan. A beautiful representative of the Golden Slipper winner, and again, a champion New Zealand filly. This is a colt that's very much like his sire, and there's a bit of length there too, isn't there?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, this colt here really brings the best attributes of both sides of his family together. I mean, Jennifer Eccles herself, she was a darling in New Zealand, and we still get calls to this day asking how she's doing. But you know, for this type of colt to be a first foal, he's just so forward. You know, so intelligent in everything he does. You know, great muscle definition, and you know, he really looks like a ready-made racehorse. And then you bring in the Farnan, you know, that early speed to him. You know, I think it's a very good combination in the mating. So it was, and you know, he's definitely one of the top colts by Farnan that I've seen at sales this year, and you know, he's you know, he looks like he's got everything in his favour to make it on the track.
And finally here at Ora, lot 191, another by Vinny, I Am Invincible from Ocean X, a beautiful colt here, and first foal of a Matriarch Stakes and an Andrew Ramsden winner. She's by Ocean Park, a Cox Plate winner, and he's such an underrated sire, Ocean Park, isn't he? And that's just such a beautiful match with I Am Invincible, what you have right here in this colt.
No, definitely. I mean, you know, we've been big fans with I Am Invincible over the years. We've got some very good results in the sales ring, but more importantly, you know, we've bred horses like Love and Gabby by him. If you have a nice mare first season at stud, you know, he's a very good stallion to go to because he gives your mare every chance going forward. You know, Ocean X herself, she got out over a little bit of distance, as everyone knows, but for a first foal by Vinny, you know, I quite like that equation because, you know, it gives him that little bit of toughness, so it did, because Vinny gives you every chance of getting a 2-year-old, but you've also got the longevity there as well of getting a very nice prospect going forward over, you know, 12, 14, maybe even up to 1600 meters. So, you know, he's a very versatile colt, this, and you know, for a first foal again, he's very well made, you know, very nice moving horse with lots of quality, as you'd expect from a match from them too. Easter, you know, it's the best of the best. When you go there, you know, everyone is there that needs to be there. And when you're looking at fillies, there's some of the best pedigrees in Australia, and you know, with the way breeders are going now, some amazing families from across the world with the opportunity to get into. And then the colts, you know, it's proven that, you know, a nice Easter colt goes a long way, so it is, and they give you every chance on the track. So, you know, it's a very exciting sale to be going to, and we've got 9, which we, you know, is a number we really like to have. We feel like we've really honed in on, you know, a very nice draft of both fillies and colts, pretty well balanced. And yeah, I'm at the stage now where it's getting close. I just want to get there, so I do.
Always the highest of quality, the Inglis Easter draft from Ora Stud. Kitchwin Hills has been selling Group 1 winners for years, but is now in partnership with AlmaVale Thoroughbreds, expertly managed by Vernon Metcalf, one of the most popular and experienced stud operators in Australia. Let's see the combination here from Kitchwin Hills and AlmaVale. You've had a great lifetime in the industry here in the Hunter Valley of New South Wales and the thoroughbred breeding industry, but there's a new excitement, isn't there, for you, I'm sure, and all your team with the AlmaVale Kitchwin Hills new partnership taking your first yearlings to Easter.
Very excited and couldn't be happier with how we've got these beautiful grounds to prep a horse in. All our yearlings are prepped here, and it's fantastic for our first draft, our Easter draft, to be such a nice draft.
So explain how it works. So you obviously, as you say, have the yearlings here at Kitchwin, but AlmaVale is a property that, you know, you're also building up as basically the brand.
Yes, we are. So AlmaVale is being set up as a first-class foaling facility. We have excellent night watch. We also spell there, so we've got very good spelling yards, and the whole thing comes together. The young horses get reared up here, and it's just fantastic.
Oscar, fabulous being here at Kitchwin Hills now, of course, in partnership with AlmaVale. But it's a really exciting draft to be taking to the sale, isn't it? I mean, the quality of yearlings you're dealing with here, it's outstanding.
Yeah, no, it's great to be here, Caroline. Really excited for the quality of horses in the barn, and really proud of the horses that have come through the barn as well. So proud of the past, but excited for the future also.
Well, we start with lot 222 by Farnan, the golden slipper winning son of Not a Single Doubt. From Priestess, this filly, the dam is a half to Divine Prophet, and the champion New Zealand sire now in Poisier, of course, bred by Werner at Middlebrook Valley Lodge, those two. But a beautiful filly, isn't she? She's just lovely, strong sort of type.
Yeah, she's forward and racy. You could really see her going as a 2-year-old, just like her sire. Obviously, it's a huge female family as well, so yeah, really excited to get her down to Easter. I look at her and just see an out-and-out 2-year-old, early speed, a filly that'll get up and run in those early types of 2-year-old races.
Next is lot 496 by Zoostar from Donnell. This filly's dam is by Not a Single Doubt. She won 2, was second in the Inglis Banner, Riverina Charm, narrowly, Aft Cabin Family. She's a really athletic filly, isn't she?
She is. She's, like they say, when you go to Easter you want to buy the prettiest filly on the ground, and I think she's one of those. She's got a gorgeous head and eye. She's typical Zoostar, moves well, looks a real racehorse.
Lot 499 is a filly by Exceedance from Dublin Lass. We know what a great, well, particularly as a 3-year-old, Exceedance, he was the outstanding horse of his generation. Dublin Lass, well, she's already produced Dublin Down. Of course, this is the full relation. And the dam herself, she won 7, including 2 stakes races. This is a really elegant filly.
She's very elegant, Caroline. She looks forward and early. As we've seen, she's a foal to the Maribyrnong Plate winner. She's really striking, and when she walks out of the box, she takes your eye.
Lot 193 is by the sire of the moment in Justify from Olympic Medal. Of course, Justify with Storm Boy, one of this season's top 2-year-olds. And Olympic Medal, the dam, is from the great Redute's Choice family. He's a great, big, powerful, handsome boy, isn't he?
He is. He's forward, lovely moving horse, really gets his head down and gets on with the job. Again, like you said, Justify, you can't be going wrong with, especially from a family like that as well.
And finally, lot 449, another colt by Zoostar. Of course, as you mentioned, what a great influence he's had, and throws these gorgeous types. And this is from a mare called Calming Influence. So again, a really great page, as you'd expect at Easter.
Yeah, I mean, the mare's doing a super job. That Cabalas has come out and won twice, and then obviously 3rd in the sprint the other day. She's a gorgeous commands mare. Zoostar's doing the job. Probably had his best season he's ever had, so really excited to get this colt down to Easter.
It is particularly exciting to be showcasing our first Easter draft under this banner, and I've got excellent staff at both properties which helps make everything work, so I'm very lucky.
And good luck to Werner and the team heading to Inglis Easter with a beautiful draft of yearlings. That's all for part 1 of our 2024 Inglis Australian Easter yearling sale preview. Join me again next week as we visit more Hunter Valley studs and some exciting young operations in the Southern Highlands of New South Wales. I'm Caroline Searcy. Look forward to seeing you then.